Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're having a lovely day so far. So today's video is, as you can see from the title down below, my ultimate drugstore starter makeup kit. So if you have never purchased makeup before in your life and you so happen to have stumbled across this video, these are all of my recommendations for things that I would buy now if I was just starting out in makeup, with the knowledge that I have of wearing makeup for a very long time. So these are all of the things that come highly rated by me. All of the things that I would say, if you only needed one blush, this is the blush that I would go for. Or if you only needed one mascara, this is the mascara I would go for. If you are starting out and you don't know what you want, what you need, what will build your makeup bag so that you have a full repertoire to stand on to make any sort of look that you may require, then these are the products that I would recommend. Now, this is coming from somebody who has the world's driest skin. That is important because different products are going to work on different skin types. So these products are fantastic for dry skin. These are long-lasting products that will give you a glow if you want a glow, and they last really well on dry skin. They don't emphasize texture and all of these sorts of things. Now obviously all of these steps are optional. All of these steps are just what I recommend, are just what I like to do. You absolutely do not have to do them. You are beautiful as you are, but this is what I need, okay? These are the products that I need on a daily basis. So let's just get on into it. First up, we have primer. Now this is, I would say, out of all of the steps, the most optional. You absolutely do not need this step. If you are on the strictest budget, just completely skip this step. You do not need it. But I would say that these two would be my favorite priming products. Now this is actually skincare. This is the Simple Hydrating Booster. When I wear this under my foundation, under any sort of makeup, my skin looks fantastic all day long. Now this is a skincare step, so it doesn't actually have to be like in your makeup bag. I just have this out on my table at all times and I use it most of the time before I apply my makeup, before I apply anything. Really let it sink in, and it just leaves your skin feeling a little bit tacky, leaves it feeling really nice and hydrated. But I mean, it is just skincare. Just skincare, like that's the most important bit, but it is skincare. You don't need it if you have very dry skin. I would recommend it. It really does work really nicely under makeup. And then for a real primer, this is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter Glow Booster for Radiant Skin. So of course, if you have dry skin, you want to add in all of that radiance, you want to add in all of that glow. This is a really fantastic one. I only tested it for the first time about a week ago, but it is a firm favourite in my routine. I do also have the collection one. I've been using this for months. For me, the e.l.f. one trumps it. Like, this is a better product. It looks nicer on the skin, it wears nicer on the skin. Again, it leaves your skin feeling a little bit tacky, so the other products go on over the top really nicely, but for me, it's the glow. It's the glow that we all need, okay? I want to be seen from outer space. And then on to foundation. So I will just say before I get like fully into this, I do have two products for most of these for different reasons, and I will explain why. So I have two foundations. I have the L'Oreal Skin Paradise Tinted Water Cream. If you want a light coverage, if you want something for every day, then this is the one that I would go for. It gives a really nice amount of coverage. It's really hydrating. It gives a really like soft focus cover to the skin, but it still looks really natural. It lasts really nicely all day. The colour range is good. It has SPF 20 in it. Obviously always put your SPF on underneath, but nice that it has it in there as well. And it just sort of evens everything out really, really nicely. If you want something more full coverage, if you need more than that, or you know, if you're going to an event or something, you just want something a little bit more, or you're just more of a full glam kind of person on an everyday basis, then I would go for this one. This is the Revolution IRL filter. I wear this in the shade F3. The L'Oreal one I wear in Fair 02, by the way. I was scared of this because it says that it's a soft matte finish, and I was worried about that with dry skin. Don't be worried about that. It is so soft focus. It just blurs over everything. It leaves your skin looking really healthy. It's a really, really natural finish. It lasts really nicely all day, even in this awful heat that we've been having. I'm filming this in August and it is absolutely boiling hot, and I know that I could rely on both of these to last really, really nicely all day long. So if you're wanting something lighter coverage just to perfect things out a little bit, then the L'Oreal water cream is really, really nice. If you're wanting something more full coverage, if you've got more to cover, if you just feel like a higher coverage base will make you feel more confident, the IRL filter is fantastic. And again, for concealers, we've got two for sort of the same reason. If you're wanting something lighter coverage, something that's less coverage and more like hydrating feeling, more of an everyday sort of thing, then the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum is fantastic. This just blended out on an everyday basis, like around like the inner corner of the eye, blended out, is beautiful. It's completely undetectable. It feels like nothing on the skin. It's really hydrating because it's got that serumy sort of texture. It's so nice. I wear this in 01 Fair. So is that the lightest shade? There's no shade lighter than that? Surely not. Anyway, going off on a tangent now. If you want something for like an everyday that lasts really, really nicely, this doesn't crease at all. I have found on myself anyway at 28 years of age. It doesn't crease. It just leaves anywhere that you put it. I just put this around my eyes. It leaves it feeling really hydrated. It's such a beautiful, beautiful concealer. If you need more coverage than that, if you want something that's more of a matte finish, the Collection Lasting Perfection Concealer is a classic for a reason. This has been on the block forever and a day. Like, this was probably the first concealer I ever purchased, and I must have repurchased like 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 of these, so many over the years, and I will always have this in my collection. If you have more things to cover, like on the face rather than just around the eyes, if you have like spots or discoloration or things that you want to cover on the face, then this is a really good one because it's a matte finish. So you don't want anything that's too hydrating if you have anything like that on your face that you're needing to cover, like spots and things, because the highlight will just emphasize that. You want something that's matte to hide it. Not that I think that you really need to hide spots. I generally don't cover spots when I get them. I just sort of let them live and try and not cover them so that they heal quicker, but I completely get if you want to cover them, this is a really, really great one. I have this in the shade Fair 5 to match my face. If I was wearing something more under the eyes, then I like the next shade down, which is 4 Extra Fair, I do believe. For powder, the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear Foundation in a powder has been my absolute go-to for like 6 months. This is honestly like the only one that I have been wearing. Now, I don't wear this on an everyday basis because I have dry skin. Some days I just feel like I don't want that extra layer of product. This, however, does add a little bit extra coverage. So I use this with a really big fluffy brush, do it all over the face, and it just adds a tiny bit of coverage. So sometimes I will use this and this is what I'm wearing today, just the e.l.f. Halo Glow and the L'Oreal powder all over the face. It gives a really nice soft finish but obviously that has that glow. So you can either use this with a brush and just do it all over, or it does come with a sponge that I've thrown away because I never use it, and you can just apply it very thickly onto your face. I don't tend to like wearing it that way because my skin is so dry, but obviously you can experiment with it, see how you like it, and it just lasts really well. It locks everything in, it stops you looking too shiny, which can happen even on dry skin as your oils come out throughout the day and as you're like sweating and things. In this heat, if you can't tell, it is absolutely boiling hot in my room today. This just locks everything in, stops you looking shiny, makes your makeup last really nicely all day long. So on to possibly my favourite step, bronzer and blush. So I would say if you only had to get one bronzer, it would be this one. This is the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. This is in the shade Tan Lines, but they have a really great selection of colours, so you can get one to match your skin tone. Adding something like a cream bronzer to your routine or a cream blush will just add another layer of like glow, another layer of hydration. These last really well all day. They blend out really easily, so if you're just starting and you're a little bit worried about adding in these like coloured based product steps like your bronzer and your blusher, then this just blends out really nicely. Just a tiny little bit on a brush and applied wherever you may want it. It blends out so nicely, adds a really nice warmth to the skin. If you wanted to add in a powder bronzer, or if you just wanted a powder bronzer, you didn't feel up to having a cream bronzer, then this is the one that I would recommend. This is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte Bronzer. So this is the same like packaging as the powder that I said about, and it just blurs everything out on the skin so nicely, adds a really nice warmth. Again, they've got quite a good shade range of these, so you can really like get the undertone and like the warmth that you want. That's why I got this one, because I wanted like a warmer bronzer rather than something that you would like contour with. I haven't included a contour because I just don't think it's necessary. Like I contour with these or use them where I would put contour, like down the nose, under the cheeks, under the jaw. I use these, and I mean, I have cheekbones where I didn't wake up with cheekbones, and I have a jaw where I definitely didn't wake up with a jaw. So these two together really work well together, but either of them by themselves would be absolutely beautiful. And then for blush, it's the e.l.f. Putty blushes. I have 3 shades here, so if you're my sort of skin tone, in summer I really love Bora Bora, which is this one, a really bright hot pink. I am also, this is one that I'm wearing today, this is Turks and Caicos. And then coming into autumn, I really like this one, which is Tahiti. So if you are my sort of skin tone, then these are the ones that I would recommend. Again, they have a really great shade selection. They have ones that are a lot deeper than these ones. I think these are possibly like 3 of the lightest ones, obviously because I'm white as a sheet, but these are the ones that I would gravitate towards if you were my sort of skin tone. Obviously blush is completely like whatever you prefer, whatever undertone you're going for, depending on what look you're doing, but these 3 are beautiful. And I haven't actually recommended a powder blusher. Again, it's just personal preference, whatever like colours you like. I really like the Revolution Blusher Reloaded ones. There's lots of very good ones. I have lots of favourites, so I couldn't just specify one, but the putty blushes are absolutely my favourite blushes. For eyebrows, again, if you're just starting out, I think a pencil is easiest. I've brought this one over. This is the Collection Incredibrow Define Plus. I have this in the shade Brunette 2. This has a really large like tip, so it's easy to like fill in quickly the whole brow, and also you can turn it on the side and like do the little hair like strokes. If you are just starting out, I think a pencil is easiest to use. I just think it gives you the most precise lines whilst also being able to fill in the brow as quickly as possible. And then I am also recommending the e.l.f. Wow Brow because I use this every single day without fail. So I have this in the shade Brunette. This doesn't necessarily like give you the strongest hold. It does, however, just give you the fluffiest, most natural looking brows that you could possibly wish for. It's so like soft looking and fluffy looking. That's the vibe that I go for. If you're wanting something more of like a strong hold, if your brows are really like unruly, if they just go all over the place, then I would recommend maybe like a clear brow soap sort of product rather than like a fluffier brow gel like this. But I can't recommend one of those because my brows do exactly what I want them to. It's just that I don't have a lot of actual brow hairs, so the ones that I do have I need to thicken up with the Wow Brow. For eyeliner, I would say that something with like a brush tip is easiest. Again, same as like the eyebrows, that sort of action of using like how you would hold a pencil, I think would be easiest if you were just starting out. So this is the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Matte Liquid Liner. This is in the shade, the brown shade, as you can see down the bottom here. I also have this in black. They also do it in a really cool like forest green colour that I definitely want to get my hands on, just a side note. But this is so easy to apply. It has like a foam tip on the end, so you can get really, I mean that was an awful swatch, I do apologise. You can get really fine lines with it, or you can make it really thick as I did with that first swatch. But it's so easy to apply, it lasts all day. Obviously anything like an eyeliner, if you haven't done it before, it's going to be like a learning experience. You're going to have to figure out how to do it, and there really isn't a way that I can teach or anybody could teach how to do that, because you just have to practice getting your hand in the right angle and practice getting it right on your eye shape, all of these things, and that will be a learning curve. But I think that these are the best ones that I've tried. Something like a pen would also be easy, but I haven't found one that lasts as well as these L'Oreal ones. If you were wanting more of a pencil that you can like squiggle on and then go over with a brush to like smudge out, these ones from Essence are fantastic. These are the Essence Long Lasting Eye Pencils. You can see I have a few shades here. I have some greens, I have some browns, and I have a black. So these are just like a mechanical pencil. You twist it to make it go up and down, and then you can scribble along your lash line like so, and you can either take a brush or just your finger and smudge these out to make it smokier, or you can just leave it as it is. So these deposit a really nice like amount of colour. They have a really great shade range. They are so cheap. I get these in Wilko. I think they're like £1.75. So if you're not sure what you want, you can get like a black, a brown, and then maybe like a different colour. I like a green or a purple to really like decide what you like. For mascara, again, I'm recommending two. I'm sorry, that's really annoying, but again, it depends on like what your preference is. If you're wanting something that's long and wispy and like where you can see each individual lash and it's lengthened and it's curled, the Lash Sensational is just the best one on the market for that. This is like a limited edition packaging that is shiny all over. They are usually just matte all over the rest of it, but this, it's the UK's #1 for a reason. It is so good and it lasts really, really well all day. If you're wanting something more dramatic, if you're wanting something more thickening and really like spidery and thick and long and volumized, the e.l.f. Big Mood. This is my personal favourite mascara. I love a really thick, dark lash, and this is the best one. It builds up so nicely. You can get really thick, long, dramatic, volumized lashes, all of these good words, so easily, and it lasts amazingly well all day. Through the heat waves, this has been pretty much the only one that I've been wearing because it lasts all day. For eyeshadow, I would say that if you're not sure what like tones you want, something like the e.l.f. Bite Size eyeshadows are fantastic. You can get ones in like whatever you're drawn to. I have the Rose Water and Hot Jalapeno because I mean, this is like everyday purpley neutral tones, and then green because I love green eyeshadow. But they have such an amazing selection of different colours, so whatever you think you might like, you can get them. They're super cheap. I think these are like £3, maybe £4. So you can get a few, see what you like, try out different looks. They've got a really great selection of mattes and shimmers in each one, so you can really build a look just with one eyeshadow palette. And then for lipsticks, I would say literally anything by L'Oreal, literally anything. So I have a few different like formulas to talk about here. So the Colorish Matte Bullet lipsticks, an absolute classic if you're wanting just like an everyday nudie pinky wearable shade. I have two here. So this is 103 Blush in a Rush if you're wanting something pink, if you're wanting something just very basic and wearable no matter what eyeshadow you're wearing, then these are really great ones. This is 633 Mocha Chic, so this one is just a little bit more browny, and this one is probably my favorite like everyday nude. Obviously depending on your skin tone and depending on all of these different things, then it depends what colour you would go for, but if you're sort of similar to me, then these two are really great. If you're wanting something more glossy, if you're wanting something more hydrating, if you're wanting something that's slightly less typical lipsticky and more sort of glossy, then these ones are great. This is the L'Oreal Colorish Shine. I have Nectarine Plump and Watermelon Plump. I also have Coconut Plump, which is a very pale like pinky nudie shade, but these are probably my most worn lipsticks. I'm wearing Nectarine Plump, which is the orangey one. I'm wearing that today over the top of another product that I will talk about in just a second, and these are very lightly tingly. They're very comfortable. They're so hydrating. The colour doesn't last all day, but it's that sort of hydrating glossy finish, so nothing that's like this would last all day. But these are just beautiful. The packaging's really cute as well, which I know is like not at all important, but it's important to me. And if you are wanting an orange lipstick, if you're wanting a red, if you're wanting a really impactful, deeper colour, then I would recommend these ones. This is the one that I'm wearing today underneath, Nectarine Plump. So this is the L'Oreal Signature Liquid Lipstick. I have the shade 112 I Achieve, which is the orangey, and 115 I Am Worth It, which is the red. Coming into autumn, you better believe that I am going to be wearing this red shade every single day, and probably this orange shade too. I love a bold lip. These last all day. They go on, they feel like water, they feel like nothing at all, but they give a really soft sort of matte finish, and they layer under a lip gloss or the Colorish Shine lipsticks so beautifully. Genuinely, if you put this on like on the morning, you can take it off on the evening, it will last all day no matter what you eat, no matter what you drink, and then the next morning you will still have a little bit of colour left on your lips. They're so beautiful. I absolutely love them. So if you're wanting that like bright pop of colour, these are fantastic. I can't go on about them enough. And that is everything that I would put into my starter makeup bag. If you were just starting out in makeup, then these are all of the products that I would recommend. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Let me know if any of these are ones that you would recommend to somebody just starting out in makeup as well. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, you can subscribe down below. I upload 3 times a week on a Monday, a Wednesday and a Saturday. I do all sorts of reviews, tutorials, testing new products, etc, etc. But until next time, thanks so much for watching. Bye!